Shalom, family. Shalom, family. How's everybody doing? Okay, y'all drop a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Everything cool? Oh, ooh, we. Shalom, shalom. The water. All praises, all praises. So, I really, this whole class came about. It really just, hit my spirit. So, like, I mean, first off, hey, this is no shade towards any of the people who keep in Shabbat Friday night to Saturday night. There's no shade towards you whatsoever. Before, when I first came into truth, I was someone who did Friday night to Saturday night. But then once I got the better understanding that I felt like was a correct thing, I started following the lunar Sabbath, the lunar Shabbat, and this is what it is because it's a familiar question that I always get is why. All praises, all praises. And so the question is why. And so, of course, we're gonna go to the Bible to get the answers. You feel me? So with the first, let me share my screen real quick. I don't even know why I ain't even do it from the jump. This topic caught me. I'm trying to learn all praises. All praises. Let me see, share screen. So we gotta start in Genesis, right? Let me share this right here. Boom. We're gonna go to Genesis 1. And let me see. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Yeah, I'm gonna start at verse 16. All right. Genesis 1 in chapter 16. It says, and God made two great lights. Well, no, I'm gonna start at verse 14. Salakia, my bad. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, right? So with that being said, it's already told us from the jump in the first chapter what are the purpose of the lights in the sky. And it say anything about to be worshipped, nothing about no astrology, the zodiac, it had nothing about that. It's for us to tell the times, right? That's really essentially what it was saying. Is that and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and so it was. And God made two great lights, the greater to rule the day, and the lesser to rule the night. He made the stars also. So we understand those two great lights. It's the sun and the moon. It's the sun and the moon. So let me close this one real quick and pull up another verse to. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. So lucky. And let me pull up this other verse. I'm put it the book of Sirach, chapter 43. I'm gonna bring it out in GNT. I'm gonna start at verse 6, right? It says, there is also the moon, marking the passage of time, an eternal sign of the changing seasons, right? The moon determines the holy days. It light its light grows full and then grows dim. The month is named after the moon, marvelous to watch as it grows fuller each night, a signal light for the heavenly armies shining out in the dome of the sky, right? So that's also goes to show for people may think the full moon is the new moon. Well, in Sirach, The GNT puts it out so clear. That's why I love it in the GNT, right? In Sirach 43, it says what? That one is marked the passage of time. What's the passage of time? Days, weeks, months, years. That's what the moon marks, right? And it also determines the holy days. And it grows full, then grows dim. So if something is growing full, that means it's starting off with no light. If the light grows in it, that means it doesn't have any to begin with. So the full moon can't be the new moon, right? So then it's talking about holy days. The moon determined the holy days. Let me close this screen, and we're gonna get back to the Blue Letter Bible screen, because there's a chapter that lists out our holy days. It's Leviticus 23. I'm about to go there for y'all right now. And I'm gonna start from the top. Leviticus 23. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, concerning the feasts of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my feasts. The holy convocations, those are when we say the holy days. Let me put it in the NLT, right? Boom. It says in Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 2 in the NLT, give the following instruction to the people of Israel. These are the Lord's appointed festivals, which you are to proclaim as official days for holy assemblies. So these are our holy days, right? There's going to be a list throughout this chapter. Let's jump down to verse 3. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh is a Sabbath of rest, a holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is a Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings, right? So far, shalom everybody. Shalom everybody in the chat. Shalom. So far, right? Just those 3 scriptures, it let us know, one, that the Sabbath is a holy day. It's a separate day, holy convocation. That's the first one listed in this chapter. So we can't say it's not. Then going back to Sirach 43 and the GNT, it is showing all praises, all praise, Mr. Stewart, the water for joining, the water for becoming a new member. And in Sirach 43, it tells us the moon determines the times, marks of passage, just like the in Genesis, when it tells us it's going to be in Genesis 1, telling us we're using the lights of the firmament to determine the times. Shalom. So those 3 scriptures right there is all right, cool. We can see how this day is being dealt with by the moon, right? So now I'm go down to some examples, because what I love about this Bible, like, it can say something, but then you're going to find an example of it later on, and we understand. We put our faith. Everything we do is we put our faith into this book, right? We understand our culture is in this book, so we just gotta search our book to find an example. And all praise to the Most High, we was able to get this, right. First Samuel, I'm gonna say it's 20. First Samuel chapter 20. Where I'm gonna start at? I'm gonna start with verse 18. Boom. Then Jonathan said to David, tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty, right? Because the reason I'm going into this right now is because it said the seventh day, and it said work 6 days and the seventh shall be a Sabbath. So we got to work 6 days and the seventh shall be the Sabbath, and that's determined by the moon. We got to understand when's the first day of the month. That's why we're going in here to establish when is the first day of the month. And right here, it's talking about the new moon and how David will not be attending the new moon. And we're going to jump down to 24, right? And so David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat, as at other times, even upon the seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Why it's empty? Because hey, David went to hide in the field, because he already knows Saul trying to get him up out of there. Verse 26. Nevertheless, Saul spake not of anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. So, and this is another question we have to ask, right? Why is everybody quote unquote gathering on this day? That's just something else we have to ask. Why is everybody else gathering on this day? But anyway, right? First Samuel chapter 20, verse 27. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month. So the new moon happened, right? They was all together having a feast. And then boom. In verse 27, it said, and it came to pass on the morrow, so the next day, which was the second day of the month, that David's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today? And so with that example right there, we are seeing how the new moon is also the first day of the month. But we also see it means something, right? Because they're celebrating it. Why is it a gathering? There's a reason to these things, right? Because we got to understand the new moon is just not a regular day. The new moon is the new moon is a Sabbath, right? Let's go to Ezekiel. I'm going to Ezekiel 46. Boom. Ezekiel 46, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord God, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open, and in the day of the new moon shall it be open. Right? So this right here letting us, it shows that the Sabbath and the new moon, they can be on the same day. Well, they can be on the same day. When I say that, it's like this, right? Every new moon is a Sabbath, but every Sabbath is not a new moon. If that makes sense. Every Sabbath is not a new moon, but every new moon is a Sabbath. Because it said the gate shall be shut 6 days. If the Sabbath and the new moon aren't the same day, that means that gate would have to be open 5 days. And that would make this prophecy not true. And we understand, hey, God not gonna do that. we ain't gonna say, oh, his word came back void. Nah. So how is it gonna make sense unless it's the Sabbath and the new moon? Well, the new moon is a Sabbath. I'll put it that way. All praises, Mr. Stewart, all praises. Here's another example. Go to Amos. Jump down to verse 5. right? Amos chapter 8 and verse 5. Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Sabbath, that we may sell forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. And so this right here also is showing it's showing people, they were ready they was ready for these days in so they can go make some money. So they can finesse people, go, come up. But they were still practicing the law. It was like, look, when the new moon and the Sabbath, because they understand this is the same day. The Sabbath is a new moon. They understand that. And so, but that's this is another verse showing how they are both, how the new moon is a Sabbath. Right? All praises, all praises. So now we having the understanding that, all right, the month starts with the new moon, and that's the first day. Then we work 6 days and then rest the seventh day. So the new moon is the first day of the month. Then we work 6, boom, 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 boom. And on the seventh we rest. That seventh, that rest day is going to technically be the 8th day of the month. So it's going to be like 1 plus 7 is 8. 8th going to be the rest day. 7/15 going to be the rest day. So on to the next new moon come. That's how we keep our days, and that aligns with the holy days in Leviticus 23, because they all fall on. I ain't gonna say they all. Majority of them fall on the Sabbath. Like Passover don't fall on the Sabbath. Day of Atonement don't. But like Tabernacles, for example. Tabernacles, Monday night, Tuesday night, the Sabbath, boom, another Sabbath, Monday night, Tuesday night. Our holy days are that's how we understand we have the right because our holy days is aligned with the moon. Going back to Sirach 43 in the GNT, how I was saying the moon determines our holy days. All praise. If y'all have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Or if I'm going too fast, let me know. Don't be shy. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let me see. Where I was about to go next, right? And now we're talking about calendars. So what I don't understand is we're supposed to try to, break away from the norms that our oppressors put on us, right? That's our goal. We're supposed to break away from the norms our oppressors put on us. So with that being said, why are we following the Gregorian calendar when it comes to our holy days? The water, Tim, the water, all praises, the water. And shalom to the family. Shalom, Brody B. And Salakia. Shalom, everybody. If I missed you, Salakia. If I missed you, Salakia. So let's go into these calendars, right? Because it says what? In Proverbs 3, right? Proverbs 3 and 31. Boom. I'm tripping. Forgot to hit enter, right? It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So this Gregorian calendar, this is his way. That's they give us this. If we're supposed to go back to our culture, we got to understand our culture didn't start when we received the Gregorian calendar, right? Let's look this up. When was the Gregorian calendar? Gregorian calendar. when did this even come to fruition? Hold on. Stay signed up. Right, let's see. Oh, I'm showing the wrong screen, Salakia. So we're gonna see this Gregorian calendar, right? What the AI say. The Gregorian calendar is a solar calendar that is used by most of the world today. It was introduced in 1582 by Pope Gregory as a replacement for the Julian calendar. So we understand that when our culture go back way before 1582, right? So why are we trying to mark our holy days, our cultural holy days, based on the calendar that didn't even existed when we were given our culture, when we was given our heritage, right? And that's why I love this scripture. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. Sirach 24 and 23. Sirach 24 GNT. Where is it at? Let me see if I can pull it in the KJV, not the GNT. I'm tripping. Salakia. Oh, they don't. That's crazy. I'll just have to read it from my phone. I don't know why I can't get the KJV up on the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 24, verse 23. It says, all these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for an heritage unto the congregations of Jacob. So this law is our heritage, right? This law, our heritage, we got our culture. How I understand we got our culture in it. What, Numbers 15:38? Hey, we're our fringes. Deuteronomy 22, we have our zeets. Leviticus 19 to tell us about not shaving our beards. Our culture is in this law. So why, when it comes to specific holy days in our culture, we're not going to use the calendar that our culture had been using? You feel me? Hold on. What you saying, Mr. Hold on, Salakia. I'm trying to explain this. I mean, yeah, we in our land of our captivity, but I mean, we just can't. We can't allow that to be an excuse for a lot of things. Like I said, I don't have no hate or no nothing against anybody who keep their Friday night to Saturday night. Like that's on them. All praises, you keeping the Shabbat, you keeping the law. Excuse me, but for me, like let's go to Exodus, right? I'm going to Exodus 20. And this is just me personally. Like I'm not trying to, you feel me? It's just how I be feeling about things. Exodus. I gotta share the screen. I'm tripping. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. To keep it holy. So me personally, I truly feel like the Lunar Shabbat is the way our ancestors did it. And I feel convicted hearing that first part saying, remember the Sabbath day. So me, I would feel wrong just without knowing that this is what I know, but I'm gonna do this anyway. That's just how I personally feel about it. And you saying, was it specifically for us? or was it just the calendar at that time? What do you mean, the calendar at that time, right? And what do you mean just by like the calendar at that time? Because in Genesis it's telling us that the um the days and the passage of time is by the lights in the firmament. And the Sirach 43 in GNT is telling us that the moon is what is how we kept track of the days, months, years. So I don't understand what you mean by the calendar at that time. Well, if you want, let's. Well, I mean, hey, let's go back. Let's go back into some calendars. Then I feel like that would be cool. That would be cool. Let's go back into the calendars because it said the Gregorian calendar came about in 1500 or before the Gregorian. All right, you talking about the Julian calendar? I got you. So the Gregorian calendar was 1582. Let's timeanddate.com, right? Boom. Gregorian calendar, Western, blah, blah. So the Gregorian calendar's predecessor was the Julian calendar, was replaced because it was too inaccurate and did not properly reflect the actual time it takes for Earth to orbit around the sun on its tropical year. So it's talking about the Julian calendar, right? The Julian calendar was introduced by Julius Caesar in 45 BCE. So no, we're not supposed to follow the Julian, right? Because we understand we was already established as a nation before 45 BCE. We was already established as a nation before then. So you'd be like, all right, what calendar was before the Julian calendar? It was the Roman calendar. But we have to understand that the best way to cut all the calendar talk out, we got to see when was the first Sabbath kept, right? Exodus 16. Is it 26? I believe. Yeah, the Sabbath observed, right? So this is the first time the nation of Israel kept the Sabbath. This is what we're in the wilderness. Matter of fact, what it said, what top verse, Exodus 16:1. And they took the journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel came into the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after the departing of the land of Egypt. So after Egypt, in the wilderness of Sin, is when we had kept our first Sabbath, right? So if we're trying to go by calendars, what calendar were we using then? It wasn't as Julian calendar because you do more research. The Julian calendar, it was originally supposed to be 8 days, changed to 7. But the calendar before that, the Roman calendar, that was like not 9 and 8 days long. So man, what day? It says work 6 days and the seventh shall be the Sabbath, right? And so if those days are constantly changing, how can it just be a constant? I don't want to say Friday. Let's just say people do Friday, Saturday. How can it be a constant Friday, Saturday when the weeks change? That means the time's technically changing as well. Daniel 7:25. When they say they try to change the times. Tim, you already know, because they know. That's why, like, hey, Judith 5:20. I feel like I bring it out almost every time. But it perfectly shows that these nations, they understand who we are, right? Especially the ones in power. They understand who we are. And they understand in order to be in a conquering position over us, we still have to continue to be in sin. That's the only way it's going to work. Because, like, for example, let's just look at today, right? If we can do a 10 on 10 versus anybody, we already know we on top. So the question is, so the question is, how did we get into a position? It's not just all physical dominance. No, it had to be divine intervention. The divine intervention was we made our God mad because we kept breaking His commandments. We continued to be in sin instead of follow His commandments. Oh, that was Exodus. The first time the Israelites, the first time we kept our commandments, not the commandments. The first time we kept the Sabbath, it was on in Exodus chapter 16. You can start at verse 22. So, that's the problem with all these calendars, right? It's not our culture. It's not what we did. It's not what we followed. We understand, like I brought out in the beginning of class. I feel like that if the Ciroc 43, 6, 7, and the GNT, I feel like that's really the cut, in my opinion, because it says it clear as day. Clear as day. I'm gonna pull it back up, right? Ciroc 43, GNT. Wow. Because I feel like it's clear. This is a clear cut, in my opinion. Starting at verse 6, there is also the moon marking the passage of time, an external signal of the changing of season. The moon determines the holy days. It grows full and then grows dim. The month is named after the moon, marvelous to watch as it grows fuller each night, a signal light for the heavenly armies shining out in the dome of the sky. I feel like that right there just you get someone to admit, in my opinion, the Sabbath is a holy day, according to Leviticus 23. Boom. It's a holy convocation, a holy day. Sirach 43, verse 6, 7, and GNT. Let's be known that our holy days are determined by the moon, which goes back to Genesis 1. He's saying when Genesis 1 and 14. And how the I ain't gonna try, I'm gonna read it. I ain't gonna try to paraphrase it. Genesis 1 and 14 saying, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament and the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. So we use the moon. We use the moon to determine the days. None of this calendars such as Shalom, sis. So the Gregorian calendar, that's not it. The Julian calendar, that's not it. Roman calendar, That's not it. Like we gotta understand, we were really like us as a nation. Yeah, we had some people who were, you know, down with the oppressors, whatnot, right? But we gotta understand, it wasn't like there weren't just nobody who was solid for real out there. Like we we understood what it was. I feel like we may have some more solid people back then than we do now. That's just my personal opinion. Yeah, I mean that's really all I have for the class. Yeah, anybody have questions? Feel free to put them in the chat. Hey, Neff, did I help you with your studies, man? I remember you saying this was something you was looking into. Lord willing, this was an edifying class for you, and you got better understanding. Most I will. All praises, all praises. Yeah, I'll stay on for it's not a problem, King. I am the bar. It's not a problem. I'm just glad to be of us. Check out the water, Mr. Stewart. Barack Obama the water. Check out the world's last chance calendar. All right, let's do that. World's last chance calendar. Y'all's calendar. I don't know. Oh, they got my location up here and everything. Ooh, let me scroll past that before I even share the screen. I don't know. This is what you want me to see. Hold on, because I typed it in and this is what I got. Check this out. With fake news. Saturday is the Sabbath. Fake news. Mm, all right. I want to click on that, but I gotta take this down. My location may popped up. Oh, the app. All right, let me. I'm about to download the app. The water town. Barack Obama out the water. Yeah, hey, appreciate the donation, family. All praise, all praise. Yeah, but I'm gonna check out the app. World's Last Chance Calendar. I'm gonna download it right now. Enoch calendar. Remember that God knew the calendars would be messed up. He knows everything and nothing happens that God does not allow. Watch the signs. He is His coming is imminent. I mean, I don't know much about Enoch calendar, but I will say the calendar I will use to tell my days, times, months, years, seasons is the one the Most High gave us. It's the moon, moons and the stars. That's the way ancestors did it. That's the way I'm gonna do it. But the water, WLC calendar. Let's see this pop up. You know, let's see what it's talking about. Con, hey, yeah. We let them do their purpose. We let them do their purpose. Uh, all right, hold on. All right, so I'm gonna say this, like Megan Israel, Salak, if I pronounce your name wrong, right? Um, with the lunar calendar and the lunar Shabbat, yes, the days do change, and the days do change. Like it's Shabbat right now, Monday night to Tuesday night. Like we just entered the Shabbat. So and then on the next new moon, that'll be the that'll be the next Sabbath, and then 7 days after it'll be the next Sabbath. So if the next new moon is Tuesday night to Wednesday night, that next Tuesday night to Wednesday night will be a Sabbath. And that next Tuesday night to Wednesday night will be a Sabbath. And it'll be that way until the next new moon. And what are your thoughts about the Catholic Church saying they changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday? I mean, I don't know much of anything of the Catholic Church. I didn't grow up Catholic. I have no Catholic friends, but I would tell them, hey, book chapter verse, book chapter verse. Hey, prove that. A lot of people get away with saying things because no one just asked them to prove it. Like it's really so simple. Just if someone say something, no, just prove it. Because and I do this. Hey, even with me, like if y'all hear me say something, hey, double check it. Just don't take my word for face value. You feel me? Always do research. I tell anybody that always do research. Always do more research. Always do more research. Right. The book of Enoch was removed from the Bible back in the 1600s. It explains so much. I don't necessarily believe we don't have a book of Enoch. I'm just saying the book of Enoch today is not the same book of Enoch. And that's really because, all right, ancient manuscripts, right? You have an ancient manuscript for Old Testament and New Testament. The ancient the ancient artifact for the book of Enoch is like it's like a fracture, like a page. Like it's not enough to compile a whole book. And then the book of Enoch has a lot of the book of Enoch timeline is wrong when it talks about um rainbows. Talk about rainbows before the time of Noah. So you got to make that make sense because the rainbow was a promise after the flood. Like I said, Megan, like me, I'm not knocking anybody who do the Friday night to Saturday night. That's why I titled the class "Why We," as in the Gaborian Mighty Men of David, why we follow the lunar Sabbath. Like I said, hey, it's all love to everybody who's keeping the law because what Mark. Let me share my screen. All right. 'Right. Mark 16. I'm tripping. Isn't it Mark 16? I'm tripping. It's not Mark 16. Hold on. Slovakia. Now it's gonna bother me. I gotta find it. Continue. Boom. Where is it at? Where is it at? Right here, 12 and 30. It says, and thou shalt love the Lord, Mark chapter 12, verse 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment, right? That word strength in the Greek. It goes down to ability, force, strength, and might. So when brothers be saying, hey, keep the law to the best of your ability, it's because of this word, this verse right here, Mark 12 and 30. So I ain't gonna down nobody or anything. I ain't gonna down nobody, throw no shade at anybody who keeps the Friday night to Saturday night Sabbath. I was just saying why we look boring while we do it over here. New moon tomorrow? Nah. I was giving an example. I was giving an example. Hey, Mr. So, you brought up a great point. Yeah. You know, the Gregorian calendar is trash. When Sept means 7, but September is regarded as the 9th month. Exactly. That's right, Tim. Hey, the book is pseudo apocrypha. Pseudo meaning fake. You're right. When he say talking about seeing eye to eye, it's Isaiah 52. Yeah, thou watchman shall lift up thy voice. Isaiah chapter 52, verse 8. Thou watchman shall lift up thy voice. With the voice together they shall sing, for they shall see eye to eye when the Lord shall bring again Zion. So until we all get together and get back on one road, on one accord for real. When we all get back on one accord, that's when we're gonna see eye to eye. That's why I said I already understand we're not gonna see eye to eye. That's why I don't got no shade or no ill, none of that towards someone who keep the Friday night to Saturday night. All praise. Hey, y'all came with the questions so that tonight. All praises. All praises. The water. Well, before I log out, I do want to say, hey, the water for everybody tuning in. Tap in tomorrow. The brother Zamyar, the brother Debak, they got their class Tuesday, and then we're gonna go back to pushing more classes and getting back active. You know, brother's been real sick lately. I have to water for y'all, being patient with brothers. And with that, I would give all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh. His name is only God, Son Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.